everybody, welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship and welcome to the final race of the weekend here from the glorious and very sunny Nürburgring. I'm Chaz Draycott.
I'm Louise Schofield, and what a weekend it's been, hasn't it? It's been absolutely wicked. The atmosphere has just been electric, absolutely everywhere, and wow, the heat is radiating off the Nürburgring right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It is absolutely baking hot down here. It's not something we normally see at the Nürburgring. It's known for having adverse weather a lot of the time, but we've experienced a lot of sunshine, well, not just this weekend, but all season, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah. The drinks have been flowing, I think, with everyone as well. The paddock is great. The paddock is such a lovely time to walk down the paddock and see everyone enjoying themselves. But I'm excited to see how race 4 pans out this weekend.
Yeah, it's last day of school vibes every time we get to race 4. You know, it's been a busy weekend so far. We've had a lot of up and down stories. It's been a very interesting one to keep an eye on, but I think the final race, obviously, with the reverse grid, it's going to be maybe a bit more chaotic than the others that we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely, but that's what we like to see. I mean, like you said, the track has been painted as well with the tyres, haven't it? Because it has been so hot, which has been great. But we have, of course, had the Goodyear Wingfoot Award joining us for the last 2 weekends, and of course for the entire season. Brand new award, which is voted for by the fans, which has been so lovely, hasn't it? And a lot of the drivers have been so happy to have got that award so far.
Yeah, definitely. We've got 3 nominees for you at the moment for this weekend: Jochen Hahn, Antonio Albacete and Bradley Smith. The votes are still available now on the Instagram page of the championship, so if you head to the Instagram story, you'll be able to vote for one of those drivers who you think is the most deserving of the wonderful award behind us. Louise, I believe we have Davide Califano on standby ready to speak to us. He's talking to Tim Frost at the moment and Tim doesn't shut up, so I might send him your way. I've got to head to my commentary box and I'll be back in a moment.
Absolutely, he's going to tag team for us. There he goes. See, Chaz is great. He can go up to anyone and then, oh look, there we go, straight in. Here he is. Come on in, Davide. Of course, we've got to go in front of the Wingfoot Award. This is Davide Califano from Goodyear. How are you enjoying the festival so far?
No, I think we're doing very, very well. I think it's a great weekend. The weather is helping. Not usual at the Nürburgring, but we're very, very happy. So that's great weekend.
Absolutely, the sun cream has been needed, hasn't it?
Yes, definitely you need it.
So can you just talk us through the Goodyear Wingfoot Award and what the procedure is to vote and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so the Wingfoot Award is a trophy which is basically given by the fans to the driver. We select the drivers that are nominated to get the Wingfoot Award after race 3, so they've been announced for this weekend already, and then basically the fan have the opportunity to vote for the favorite driver. So I think for us it's very nice because we are adding a bit of healthy competition to the already healthy competition that we have on the track, and also we give the opportunity to the fan to be part of this competition and to be more engaged also in the championship and in the racing. We see also from the teams that there is a lot of interest and enthusiasm about it, so I think it's a great news that we brought in for this year.
It's gorgeous. I mean, I spoke to Sasha Lenz on the grid at Slovakia, and he didn't realise he'd been nominated. I told him in the truck, he was like, "Oh, that's great news," and he was so excited. I think that's so lovely. But have you been surprised and overwhelmed by how well the engagement has been? Because the fans have really been getting on board with it, haven't they?
Yes. I think we had some experience in some other competition, but of course, you come to a new championship, and this is new for the championship. So we also been very positively surprised by the level of engagement of the supporter and the fan. It is somehow also reflecting what we are doing in other championships. So we are very, very happy with the results, and for sure we're looking forward to continue in the season and hopefully also in the next season to bring it forward, because we think something that we're also building up with the time. So
absolutely, and I love the design of it as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. What went into the crafting of the award, and was there a design in mind that you had for it?
Yeah, of course. The Wingfoot Award is the Wingfoot, which is the symbol, I would say, of Goodyear, the one that we have in the middle of our logo, which is the symbol of speed. So that's basically, and this is something that also in the other series very well accepted. And the first time that we thought about bringing it into the track racing championship was when we were at the 24 Hour of Le Mans. We had some race driver from the European Track Racing Championship there. They saw it, that we were using it for the FIA WEC Championship. It's okay, how can I get one? Yeah. And then I said, okay, maybe we have an opportunity for you to get one. So, and then we decided to bring it in the Goodyear FIA TRC.
Oh, absolutely, it's absolutely lovely. I mean, we were there in Misano when you were taking pictures and everything and getting all the kind of social media down for it. But has it been great to kind of see the response on social media, and has it kind of brought in some new fans, do you think, to truck racing?
Yeah, I think again it's building on the visibility of the championship, and I think it's great. It's a really great opportunity for the people to be more engaged. So I think this is really helping in bringing more also new fans into the championship, because also we try to leverage it also from the Goodyear social channels, so also that we can a bit of cross contamination from the other championship, be bringing also new fans to the Goodyear FIA TRC.
Absolutely. Well, Davide, it's absolutely wonderful, and I think it's such a gorgeous way because we are a one-truck family, and I think this just shows it, doesn't it? Which is really nice.
Of course, of course.
Well, I'm going to let you go and enjoy the race in a bit, but thank you so much for your chat.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Well, there we go, the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, and in all its glory, it looks absolutely lovely, doesn't it? I mean, I would like that on my mantelpiece. I think what I love to know is where people put it, so I think that's what I would like to ask them where they're going to put that Wingfoot Award. But we're going to go into a few highlights now, and Chaz is going to bring them your way.
Much, Louise. Great to hear from Davide Califano. Always a joy to see him here on these race weekends. These are the pictures from the race earlier today. It was Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn on the front row of the grid. A little bit of argy-bargy towards the back between Stefan Kirsch and Jonathan Andre, and then a big hit for Steffi Halm as Lucas Hahn, effectively her teammate, drove into her at turn 2 and made big contact, causing enough damage for Steffi to be out of the race. Lucas did carry on, but that wasn't the last of the contact. We had this big hit between Louis Requenco into Stefan Kirsch. Kirsch would then continue on, albeit with a little bit of damage to the right-hand side of the truck. And the battles began between Lucas Hahn and Adam Lachko, which gave us these gorgeous shots of the trucks bouncing their way over the curbs. Plenty of action there from the suspension of these great machines. Norbert Kish started to open up an advantage over Antonio Albacete, who was chasing Jochen Hahn for second place. But some of the battles, like I say, were really starting to erupt. We had a great chase between Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and his teammate Mark Taylor, who would eventually go on to finish in 5th place. A really strong result for Mark, and he was definitely happy to get over the change to yesterday. Obviously, with the disqualification in the afternoon, he and the team were not too happy, so good to bounce back from that. Adam Lachko was leading from Lucas Hahn. I've done that a lot this weekend, with John Newell just behind him. But they would stay put in terms of their positions right to the end. Lucas, unfortunately, just not quite able enough to get past him. And in the end, it was Adam Lachko that would take 8th position on the road, and as a result, pole position for this race here today. For the final race of the weekend here at the Truck Grand Prix, it would be lovely to see a race win from the 2017 European champion. But how about this? Norbert Kish taking another fantastic win to start off his Sunday here at the Nürburgring with some lovely drifting and sliding in the final moments. He has dominated the first part of today's racing. Let's see if he can make it back through the order and get to the front once again. We've still got a few trucks coming to the grid. In fact, Norbert Kish will be on the right-hand side of that shot there in just a few moments' time. Norby does tend to take his time getting to the grid and sort of slows it down a little bit. It's the only time of the weekend Norby is after anybody else, to be honest with you. But he will be heading round onto the grid in just a moment. There you can see John Newell alongside Lucas Hahn. Those two, I'm sure, will have a good scrap if they get the chance. René Reiner is due to be on the grid on the right-hand side, where that empty space is just there. Jonathan Andre having a bit of an under-the-radar weekend so far. He's been 12th, 14th and then 11th, so no top 10s for him just yet, no overall championship points. He's got just 1 point this season from the very first race, which was at Misano back in May. But he will, I'm sure, be wanting those points to just show that as a race-by-race entrant, he's still able to mix it up with the Titan drivers at the top of the order. I'm just about to go quiet for just a few moments while the grid forms up. We're going to welcome our international TV audience from around the world, and we'll be back with you in just a second. Don't go away.
Louise Goodwood here at the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship and a glorious Nürburgring. The heat is rising, and not only that, it's race 4, so the heat of the race is also rising. And I tell you what, it's very special for the race 4 of the weekend this season because we have the addition of the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, which you can see right here in this lovely box as well. We've got 3 nominees for that as well, and you can vote via socials to vote who you'd like to take this lovely trophy home and put it on their mantelpiece. Hey, it's all in your hands, the fans. How lovely is that? Now, we do have Adam Lachko right here, so we're going to go and have a quick chat with him. And he's our 2017 champion as well, so it's absolutely lovely to have him back on the grid. Are we allowed to scoot in and just have a quick chat with Adam? Is that okay? Here we go. Adam, how are you feeling? Our 2017 champion, you're looking forward to this?
Yeah, I feel good. We have the last race of the weekend in front of us, and I hope I finish on the podium on the end.
That's it. I mean, it would be lovely to have you full time with us as well. Is there any chance we can get you full time with us next year?
I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's it. But it's very exciting. We've got Most next weekend as well, which is, of course, your home turf. I bet you're really looking forward to that one, aren't you?
Yeah. The most, what we concentrate is for the Most.
Yeah.
And it's our home race, and I hope we go there and we have luck there.
Absolutely. There we go. The Most wanted there. That's it, Adam. Well, best of luck with race 4, and I hope the conditions are all right for you. There we go. All right. We are going to go back to Chaz now, who's going to get us ready for the race 4.
Thank you very much, Louise. Great to hear from Adam Lachko. And as we mentioned, you know, it's great to have him on the grid here for this round of the championship, but we really do hope that we can have him more permanently going forward. He's always exciting to watch. Chaz Draycott here in the commentary box at the Nürburgring, excited for the final race of the weekend. You've got my good friend Joachim Eberts over on the German commentary, and joining us for the Spanish stream this weekend, we have Alex Garcia, who is a good friend of mine as well. We've been working together in a Formula 4 championship, and it's been fantastic to work with him, and he was really excited to tell me that he was commentating on trucks this weekend. Let's have a look at the track layout then in this gorgeous part of Germany. We're here at the legendary Nürburgring. We're not using the Nordschleife like a lot of people seem to think. We went to the Nordschleife yesterday, and a lot of people there were saying, when are the trucks coming round? We had to inform them that it was only on the Grand Prix circuit, and a shortened version at that. The Goodyear Kehrer and the Michael Schumacher S on the left-hand side of the map there is actually where the Mullenbach Schleife sort of festival is that goes on with all of the show trucks and all the music and the fireworks. But the rest of the circuit is left to us, and I tell you, the trucks have been really laying down the rubber this weekend in the hot temperatures. 29 degrees Celsius here this afternoon. It's unlike any weather I've ever seen at the Nürburgring. Usually it's raining, it's snowing, it's foggy. You never know what's going to happen next. I mean, to be fair, even when it looks like this, even with this beautiful scenery and this blue sky, it could snow in 10 minutes. You never know. Here is the starting grid then for this final race of the weekend, and it's Adam Lachko on pole position. Great to be saying his name again on commentary. Bradley Smith joins him on the front row. Bradley is one of 3 drivers that you can vote for in the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. We've got Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and then Mark Taylor in 3rd and 4th position. Mark will be looking for some big Chrome Championship points in this last one. Then we have Sasha Lenz alongside Antonio Albacete. Those two have been fighting together for a long, long time. Next up is Norbert Kisch, just behind Jochen Hahn. The two of them will start side by side on row number 4. Then we've got John Newell in 9th place alongside Lucas Hahn. We saw those two side by side not too long ago, and they'll be excited for a good scrap in this one, I'm sure. Jonathan Andre will start in 11th place with René Reiner alongside him on row 6. Then it's Luke Garrett, a bit of an unlucky weekend for him so far, and Stefan Fass not having the most outrageous weekend, 13th, 11th and 4th, so again a bit under the radar. Emma Mäkinen next up. She's joining us for this round of the championship and seems to be enjoying herself so far. We then have Louis Requenco in 16th, and Stefan Kirsch will start in 17th position. And by the look of it, we should have in 18th and 19th Clemens Hecker and Steffi Halm. Those two were both out of the race earlier on, but will have to ask for permission to start the next race on the grid. They have to basically, if they've had a technical issue, they have to basically apply to the FIA to be able to go back onto the grid for the final race. We're going to head back down to the grid, and Louise is going to have a quick chat with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez.
Okay, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, you're in the running for the young drivers. How does that feel?
Yeah, I feel very good. It's a good weekend for me now. So we try secure my position, podium, and if possible gain the young driver.
And how does it feel to be inspiring a younger generation that might think, oh, I'd love to get involved in truck racing, seeing you do it?
Yeah, it's very good. More pilots younger. It's a good championship, very competitive, and more people, more fun.
Absolutely. And how are you feeling about race 4, the final race of the weekend?
It's a difficult weekend, a lot of things past this weekend, and but for me it's a good points for the championship, and we try a podium this race.
Well, best of luck, Jose. Fingers crossed for you. Thank you very much. There we go. It's exciting to see these young drivers coming through as well. What a lovely thing. Chaz, back to you.
Thank you, Louise. Great to hear from Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. It's, again, been a bit of a quiet weekend for him so far. It's very interesting to see how his weekends go, because sometimes he could just arrive in third or fourth position out of nowhere. We've seen him take race victories recently as well, so he's definitely a driver to keep an eye on. I mean, just look at yesterday. 6th place in race 1. He was about 4 seconds behind the driver ahead, 4 seconds ahead of the driver behind, and then suddenly 2nd place in race 2. And then 6th place again this morning. You know, it's been a very interesting day for where Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is going to finish. But of course, in this race, 3rd on the grid is looking very, very promising for him. He's got Bradley Smith in front of him, who of course won't want to sacrifice any Chrome Championship points. But then you've also got Adam Lachko, who may feel a little bit rusty coming into this weekend, but he's going to be trying his hardest to take a podium or a race win and take back to Czechia some silverware. Lovely, lovely walk down the grid here in the sunshine. There you can see Franz Steilberg over on the right-hand side, just checking everything's all good to go. There's the guys from John Newell's team, Terry Gibb and Stefan Honen's in there as well. We've got Matty as well making his way off the grid. Some of John's mechanics are lovely, lovely guys. Really good laugh as well. Big thumbs up there for Franz Steilberg. Franz knows just about everybody. He's fantastic. Really, really top guy. Careful you don't get lobbed by the flagpoles, gentlemen. But now it's go time for the final race of the weekend. As I said before to Louise, it's almost like last day of school vibes when we get to the final race of the weekend. Even more so when we will reach Jarama at the end of the season. But it's certainly exciting to see what the last race at the Nürburgring has in store for us. There is Luke Garrett. Luke is starting on the 7th row of the grid, 13th position for him on the right-hand side. He's just in front of Emma Mäkinen and Louis Rikwenko. But by the look of it, we've got Clemens Hecker and Steffi Halm on the back of the grid, so they may be back there, but it's good to have them on the grid to complete the final race of the weekend with all 19 trucks. It's one of the biggest grids we've had in a while in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and now they all get to enjoy it one more time here at the Nürburgring. Everyone making their way off the grid, and our flag bearers as well, doing a wonderful job, especially to stand there in this heat and hold up those boards and these flags. It's not an easy job, and it's often a very thankless job, but they do a wonderful, wonderful amount of work to make sure the grid looks nicely presented and well trimmed for the start of these races. It's taken a moment for them to clear the grid, in fact, actually, because they want to get all those boards off. It's easier for them to get people out, but they need to prioritise getting the boards off the grid a bit quicker, by the look of it. Got the 1 minute board shown at the front end of the grid. There is John Newell's number 18 MAN in the foreground of shot, glistening away with its beautiful metallic blue colour. Certainly looks great in the sunshine. I mean, it looks great all the time, that truck, but stunning in the sunshine here. It's very exciting this to see how some of the front runners on the grid make of this race, because we've got Adam Lachko, previous champion, definitely got a point to prove. He's using this as a bit of a live testing weekend before he heads to Most with us in, I think, around 7 weeks' time. There's quite a gap between here and Most. Yeah, 7 weeks, I've just checked on the calendar. But we've then got Bradley Smith alongside him, hoping to prove more and more in the Chrome category. And the one that he really needs to prove stuff to is right behind him on the grid, Mark Taylor in 4th place. But then you've got Jose Eduardo Rodriguez with the opportunity to take a race victory from there. There is the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. Of course, yellow flag needs to be waved just to make sure that the drivers are aware of the potential hazard in the middle. Our cameraman Pearly putting himself in, not in harm's way of course, but putting himself in the middle of the grid while these trucks make their way off it is great commitment to the role. Hats off to Pearly. We're led away, of course, on the pace lap by the pace truck, which is an Iveco SE-Way provided to us by Iveco and driven by their wonderful driver Nico. And it's a gorgeous machine, this SE-Way. We had a good look round it on Friday night. We had a great interview with Pamela Paratico from Iveco, and the guys were walking us around the different features of it. I had a chance to sit in it as well and enjoy the wonderful interior that it has. And now we get to see the gorgeous facelifted front end of this Iveco SE-Way. I said to the guys at Iveco it would be fantastic to see that new design on the front of a race truck. It would certainly look really aggressive. The race trucks look great anyway at the moment for the Ivecos. They've had a bit of development over the years to change the front end slightly, change the shape of the bumpers and things, but you know, those bits of aerodynamics really do matter in these race trucks. You wouldn't think they would be machines that rely on aerodynamics at all, considering that they look like they have the aerodynamic profile of a two-bedroom house in the UK. But really, every little hole and cut that they have in them that directs air over the wheels into the radiators, it all does make a difference. So when the fiberglass comes off and the bodywork sheds away, sometimes the drivers may not notice, but the performance will be changed by things like that. You can see on the right-hand side of your shot there, the white and black machine is Bradley Smith's number 46 truck. Now, that is an ex-Antonio Albacete and T-Sport burnout machine. You can tell by the cutouts in the bumper that it's a very similar design to what Antonio is running now, just 2 trucks back from him on the grid. But it's great to see that that truck was passed into good hands from Tim and Melanie, and they both do an amazing job to still support Bradley. He's definitely an up-and-coming star, this Bradley Smith. And he's got a great opportunity here, starting on the front row alongside a previous champion of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, Adam Lachko, in the Iveco. Interesting to see Adam in a different truck and not in a Freightliner. I got so used to commentating on him in Freightliners that it was always a given that he would be one of the fastest out there. It's been also good to see his teammate Teo Calve here this weekend. Teo and him were teammates with Alia Kolok in the 3 Freightliners that Bulgaria used to bring to town many years ago. And it's lovely to see a number of them still involved in the truck racing in one way or another, with different teams, different championships and different machinery. One more race then to go here at the Nürburgring in the 2026 40th edition of the International ADAC Truck Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. It's a joy to be here, and it's a joy to revel in the sunshine, as I'm sure our drivers are about to do. Let's go racing one more time, shall we? Race number 4 of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship is underway, and it looks like Bradley's got a really good start here, actually. He got his nose in front of Adam, who doesn't quite get the getaway that he wanted. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is going to be piling on that pressure down the inside here, but look at that. Adam knows what he's doing when it comes to braking. He goes nice and late on the brakes, tries to make it down the inside. A little bit of 3-wide action in the background. That's Jonathan Andre down the inside of Stefan Fast. There's contact between Bradley and Adam. They're sideways and Adam's around in front of the field. Contact with Bradley Smith. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez facing the wrong way. Oh dearie me, it was all a little bit clumsy into turn 2. I'm not sure Adam left the room on the inside. Jochen Hahn has got damage as well by the look of it. He's on the outside. Sascha Lenz there down the inside of René Reinert. Now I wonder whether Adam can get going again or whether that will be a red flag. But would you believe it? It's Norbert Kish second, Mark Taylor leading the race. Antonio Albacete is third. Mark Taylor's got damage. He's gone straight on, and already in 5 corners, Norbert Kish leads this race. How does he do it? Sure, there was an incident in front of him, but goodness me, the man's on fire. Mark Taylor tries to get back into the race lead, but Norbert Kish goes straight back to the front. That is incredible stuff. Again, even just his accident avoidance and the way that he makes up positions is just never stopping. Just trying to keep an eye on where Bradley Smith is. He was 10 seconds down at the back of the pack in 17th. Adam Lachko classified in 18th place. That is absolutely gutting for both of them for their own respective reasons. Bradley Smith obviously a chance to score some big points and get at least a couple back on Mark Taylor. And then Adam Lachko obviously a chance to prove himself as, well, ex-champion, that he's not gone rusty. But I do wonder what the cause of that was. I mean, looked like Bradley was alongside on the exit of turn 2 and they were side by side, but that's for the stewards to decide. I might have a bit of a speculate when we see a replay. Jonathan Andre there getting friendly with Stefan Fast into the final corner. They've got a hell of a pack behind them there. You've got Louis Requenco in there. I think, is that Clemens Hecker in that group? It is. He's gained a number of places off the start here. I don't see where Steffi Halm has gotten up to at the moment. Steffi currently running in 13th place, so Yeah, she's just in that group behind Jochen Hahn. Yeah, just ahead of Jochen Hahn, in fact, now. Side by side as well. Jonathan Andre has decided that he wants to go on the Nordschleifer instead. Just doesn't quite get there into turn one. Stefan Kirsch and Luke Garrett. No love lost there between those two either. Those guys are going to be having a good old scrap, but Norbert Kish leads the way. And now Mark Taylor has to defend from 1, 2, 3, 4 Titan drivers. And Lucas Hahn in the mix as well. Lucas already sitting in second place for Chrome. But that was a nightmare scenario for Adam Lachko to be turned around in front of the field like that and have that damage. Not good at all. Looks like Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is going to carry on. He's showing us now in 19th place. This is a look then. So Bradley gets in front down the start-finish straight. Jose Eduardo right up behind Adam Lachko, but brakes nice and early, make sure he doesn't push him into the hairpin or anything. Now watch the first two trucks here. I was busy watching the back of the pack for any drama. So Bradley is off to the left-hand side. He's still got his nose down the inside. There's just a touch on that left rear. And Bradley tries to get out of it, turns Lachko around. He then hits Jose Eduardo, who then bounces off the front of Bradley again. There's another view of it. Adam turned completely round. He's so lucky that nobody else hit him, because that's the scariest scenario in these trucks, really, is when one truck is turned around in front of the pack. Because there's such little weight over the rear axle, they're very easy to rotate. But wow, it's very, very feisty stuff here. Here's Steffi Halm and Stefan Faas side by side, trucks 44 and 24. The Iveco down the inside of the Freightliner. Through Steffi goes. Norbert Kish does the fastest lap of the race, 1:55.0, 1.3 seconds clear of Mark Taylor. On that previous lap alone, in fact, it's 2.2 seconds now that Norbert Kish leads. An incredible feat, considering that he started 8th on the grid. Here's more fights. Oh, dearie me. I could see that becoming an incident very quickly there, but good awareness by Stefan Faas. And oh, look at the opportunism there by Jonathan Andre. Chucks it up the inside of Clemens Hecker, tries to make the move. We'll see whether they came out of the corner together in the background. No, Clemens still in front. This is Mark Taylor ahead of Antonio Albacete for second and third positions. Antonio would grab his third podium of the weekend if he finishes here. And the number 55 and 46, which is Adam Lachko and Bradley Smith, are now under investigation by the stewards after that incident, which means that it is going to be looked at while the race is going on. Otherwise, if it was going to be something they resolved afterwards, they would then, of course, have a look back. But I'm sure that will dent Bradley Smith's chances in the Goodyear Wingfoot Award if any Adam Lachko fans are out there watching. But you can still scan the code. You can vote on the Instagram story, and you can choose between Jochen Hahn, Antonio Albacete and Bradley Smith. And by the end of the race, we will know who has won the third Goodyear Wingfoot Award for this season here in 2026 of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. John Newell has got a bit of a rabble behind him right now. John currently running in 4th position, going really well. He's ahead of Lucas Hahn, Sasha Lenz, René Reinert, and then Louis Requenco up to 8th position as well. He's having a fight with Steffi Halm. As they head down the start-finish straight once again, a lot of them fanning out to the right-hand side, going closer to the pit wall, just to make sure they don't get too much hot air in the intakes of their trucks, because at the end of the day, they don't gain anything by being in the slipstream. Bradley Smith is making positions back here. He's gotten back ahead of Emma Mäkinen, he's gotten back ahead of Luke Garrett, and now he's in front of Stefan Kirsch as well. So he's a man on a mission, is Bradley, considering that he had that incident in the very first corner. Adam Lachko is now catching up to the rest of the field and hoping to gain more places back as well. Mark Taylor still holding on in front of Antonio Albacete. He's moving the truck around to say, look, you're not coming through here, sunshine. Antonio will do his best to get by the Brit. Wonder whether Mark will channel his inner Jude Bellingham and win it in the final moments. We'll have to wait and see. John Newell still in front of Chrome rival Lucas Hahn. Then we've got Sasha Lenz and René Reinert. Sasha just on the pace here of René. They matched each other almost to the exact thousandth of a second on that last lap. But there's an interesting quartet forming there with John Newell, Lucas Hahn, Sascha Lenz and René Reiner. All of them I know will want to go and chase down this pair, Mark Taylor and Antonio Albacete. They will want to be a part of that battle, and they don't want to wait around, because if anything happens between the two of them, that will be that. It looks to me like Jochen Hahn has come into the pit lane and is out of the race here. He's down in 18th position on the graphics, 24 seconds back. But on the graphics I can see, it shows him, I was going to say in the pit lane, but you know what? He's actually back out on track. He's just gone through the first sector. So it's one of those things, as soon as you talk about it, it changes. Typical commentator's curse, really. Steffi Halmer's gotten ahead of Louis Requenco in the background. She's now moving forward in 8th position to try and gain more ground. But John Newell has his rear view mirror full of Iveco and full of Lucas Hahn. He's going to be putting a lot of pressure on in these, I was going to say final few laps, but we're only not even halfway yet. We're on lap 5 out of 6. Feels like this race has had a lot of action already. 5 out of 6, sorry, I mean 5 out of 12. Silly mistake to make. We're all tired here at the Nürburgring. We're going to preface it with that. It's been a very long weekend and a very hot one as well. But Sascha Lenz is now on the back of Lucas Hahn. And, well, I don't know if that was Norby heading through the hairpin, but goodness me, you could hear a lot of tyre smoke there. And it seems like Antonio Albacete would be the fitting winner of the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, considering that Jochen Hahn and Bradley Smith have both had nightmare fuel races based on the same incident. Jochen Hahn a lap down at the moment. Bradley Smith, well, he's back in the fight, you know. He's actually in 12th position. And if he could get back into the top 10 and score an overall championship point after being involved in an incident in the first 2 corners, then fair play, maybe he does deserve the Wingfoot Award after that. What a turnaround. That's what it's all about, though. It's not necessarily if a driver has one bad result, it doesn't really throw them out of the picture for the day. It's more how they bounce back. You know, people will always remember how you bounce back from something if you do it well, and not the actual thing you had to bounce back from, so long as you do it well enough. John Newell there with the beautiful shiny blue MAN at the front of this group. He's going to be hoping that it shines so bright that it puts the other drivers off behind him. I think that's why they've painted the back of the cab so bright blue. We'll have to see. It's like goalkeepers wearing fluorescent colours, isn't it? Lucas Hahn got a bit of a poor run out of the chicane there, and Sascha Lenz is right up to the back of him. And then you've got René Reiner trying to put the pressure on him as well. So a good scrap forming, and I know that John will be hoping that those three have a good fight and sort of put each other off and leave him to scarper away up the road. We're on to lap 6 out of 12, not 6, with Norbert Kish leading the way. And it's 3.6 seconds the gap back to Mark Taylor, and Antonio Albacete just 0.6 of a second behind him. The positions have stabilised a little bit now. We'll keep our eye on how they change. But Lucas Hahn and Sascha Lenz very close together here as they head into turn number 3. Then leave the Mercedes arena through turn number 4. The right-hander slightly over a crest. You've got to be careful not to run it too far over the curb there and hit the penalty marker. Sascha is starting to put the pressure on. He's done 7 races this weekend as Sascha. He's had a very, very busy run. I think there might have been a little touch with Lucas Hahn there, but no, he doesn't gain the position from it. Mark Taylor and Antonio Albacete remain in 2nd and 3rd places. Jochen Hahn is still circulating by the look of it. He's been into the pit lane, but according to the track map and according to the timing, he is still circulating just 1 lap down. So he will at least be classified for some championship points. And another reminder that all of our trucks run on 100% renewable HVO diesel. Well, it sounds like I'm running on fumes. But Norbert Kish is using all of that 100% renewable HVO diesel to power away at the front of the field. And, well, there's something that's not renewable, and that's that dust kicked up by Mark Taylor out of the exit of the chicane. In fact, I think it might have been Albacete that kicked a bit more of it up than Mark did. But it's a stellar defence so far from Mark Taylor. Just looking at his season so far, he did have a 2nd place in the last race of Slovakia Ring as well, so he's quite good at doing this by the look of it. He might be doing the same again here at the Nürburgring. I know he'll be very happy with that, because after disqualification from race 2 yesterday, he will be gutted. But he's managed to turn it round pretty well so far in this one. There was an incident apparently between Clemens Hecker and Jonathan Andre. It was noted by the stewards. So there must have been contact in turn 2 as we thought. But this is looking really good at the moment for Mark Taylor. Sure, Antonio is all over the back of him. He's got the legs on him, but he's not got enough of the legs on him to get by and make the move. He's able to chase him down and stick with him, but he's not got that extra percentage at the moment. It gives him the opportunity to take that second position in this race. So far this weekend, Antonio's had a second, a seventh and a third. So I know that another podium finish will certainly make Tim smile. Not that truck racing doesn't anyway. We all know he loves truck racing. We've seen the t-shirt. Sasha Lenz still all over the back of Lucas, and there is Jonathan Andre and Bradley Smith. These two having a good scrap. I think the cameraman just about caught that a moment ago. Bradley careful not to catch the bumper bar on the back of his fellow MAN driver's machine. But Bradley is really driving well here. He's gotten past these guys in this scrap and broken free. That is Adam Lachko, who is now ahead of Stefan Kirsch. And he moves up into 13th position. Back with Mark Taylor and Antonio Albacete, and again more dust being kicked up on the exit of the chicane. No one in the background really taking that many liberties with it, but this quartet's still working well together, aren't they? John Newell ahead of Lucas Hahn, and then Sasha Lenz and René Reinert. A reminder again that they are your 3 Goodyear Wingfoot Award nominees: Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn and Bradley Smith. You can vote now on Instagram or scan the QR code and it will take you straight there. And on the Instagram story, you'll be able to pick one of the 3 and also get a cheeky preview at what the current percentages are looking like, as well as, oh, hello René, welcome to the party, down into turn 1, late on the brakes. A bit of a biff in the rear there for Sasha Lenz's MAN, but luckily the fiberglass bumper and the bumper bar not sustaining any damage at all by the look of it, but a nice little bop in the rear there for Sasha. He'll have felt that one. I'd love to see the onboard camera of that, because that will make an almighty noise as an MAN bashes you in the rear into first corner. But John Newell is also, I have to make sure I don't understate how well John Newell is doing here. He's doing a fantastic job in 4th place, holding on ahead of Lucas Hahn, obviously a rival in Chrome, and then 2 Titan drivers, Sasha Lenz and René Reinert. There's a lot of pressure on John's very broad shoulders here as he heads through the next part of the lap. There's a lovely slow-mo shot of Antonio Albacete skipping over the curbs there. For a moment, just 3 wheels on the ground as he leaves the right-hander. There's Mark sliding the rear tyre. Look at it moving around on the wheel rim, wobbling this way and that way, kicking up the dust. Fantastic slow-mo shots here at the last corner. I really do love that. We might see him do it again now as well, actually, if they come through. Left and then right, hop, skip and a jump over the curbs. Go on, Mark, do it again. There you go, he says. Not as much dust this time. John Newell's going to do it instead, look. Oh, goodness me. Pushing, pushing, pushing. You can see the rear tyres scrambling around for grip. René Reinert there, 4th in this queue, currently running overall in 7th position in truck 77. And I think he said it was his son's 7th birthday yesterday as well. So all of the 7s for René this weekend. It's quite fitting. Now Lucas Hahn moves to the right-hand side, so too does René. There's Luke Garrett. He heads through the final chicane. He's at the moment ahead of Stefan Kirsch, Clemens Hecker in this race. He's got Adam Lachko next up the road. There's been an incident between 77 and 30 that's been noted. And we see Bradley Smith coming towards the camera with that bodywork still flapping and a cracked windscreen, but he's still moved up into 11th place. He's gotten ahead of Jonathan Andre. Here's Emma Mäkinen fighting with Clemens Hecker, the Scania versus the Iveco. Again, it looks like a round of go and stop, doesn't it, as they fly side by side down the start-finish straight into the first corner. Nice and late on the brakes. I do wonder if that Iveco is an ex-Don't Touch Racing Iveco, because it's got their very unique front end on it, on Emma Mäkinen's machine. It's a very potent racing machine if it is. Raced, of course, at the hands of Bradley Smith and formerly Andre Kurzim. But Emma has really stuck in with the field this weekend. She's been fighting for positions and fighting for those championship points in Chrome, and now taking on one of our key Chrome title competitors last season, Clemens Hecker. He's had a rotten weekend here at the Nürburgring this time, with 3 non-finishes. I'm sure he'll just be happy to finish this one and get some Chrome championship points on the board at least. Another reminder that you can vote for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. On the right hand side of your screen you'll see a QR code in just a moment. It will take you straight to the Instagram story where the voting will take place, and you'll be able to see the individual scores as they are right now. This battle continues on as there's damage there on Jonathan Andre's machine, and he is pulling over to the right hand side. So Jonathan Andre dropping down. I did think he got passed by Lachko and Garrett quite quickly. I wondered what had happened. Jonathan Andre has some damage at the minute, and that looks like it may be the end of his race, unless it's something they can sort out. But usually when you're going that slowly, it is a problem. Got a lovely shot there actually, as the two trucks on our screen, Clemens Hecker and Emma Mäkinen, came towards us. You could see right through the trucks as they came out. It was a lovely move that by Emma on the right hand side of Clemens as they come out of the hairpin. Fantastic scrap. But look, as you look at the 25 on the right hand side of your screen, you can see all the way through it to the green fifth wheel from that grille in the middle of the cab. It's amazing. These trucks are practically hollow underneath the middle of the cab. That looks hot from Clemens Hecker. I don't think he's getting that slowed down into there. No, he is. Fair play. A little bit deep into the exit of the corner. But wow, he's really pushing. These two are having a really good scrap. It's great to see it. It may not be for the race win or a podium position or anything, but it's just good fun. Really, really good fun. And I think, actually, just looking at it, does Clemens Hecker have a left rear puncture? Just notice that left rear tyre, and I mean the wheel rim looks damaged, but I think he may have a left rear puncture on that truck, May Clemens. Jochen Hahn is getting back into the mix, but unfortunately for him, he is catching up to Clemens Hecker and Emma Mäkinen, but he's a lap down on them, so he's not going to gain an overall position as a result of that. Mark Taylor heads into the final corner with Antonio Albacete still behind him. This has been a wonderful defence by Mark, a really, really well put together race. We'll see if Antonio can make anything of it in the final laps. Norbert Kish does a 156.2, and it's a 156.3 for Mark Taylor and a 156.5 for Albacete. John Newell does his best lap of the race, 155.9. So John Newell on that lap went 0.3 of a second quicker than Norbert Kish. So he's really put that together with a great first sector, and he's staying ahead of Lucas Hahn. I keep calling him Jochen. I'm really annoyed at myself for that. But then Sascha Lenz next up, and René Reinert in 7th place right now. Steffi Halm has done really well in this race to come through from the very back of the grid, 19th place, up into 8th position. Solid drive by Steffi. Oh, Mark, don't do it again. Mark was leading the race at the Slovakia ring when he finished second in front of Norbert Kish, and he made a mistake, had a lock up into one of the hairpins, and he lost that place with just the lap to go. Really hope he doesn't do it again here with Albacete. Good friends with both of these. It's so hard to commentate on truck racing there sometimes when you like everybody. But Mark Taylor having a great ding-dong here with Antonio, and Antonio will know that that's just a little sign there to basically look for a chink in the armour, a bit of weakness from Mark. And Antonio will try now and feel that he needs to put the pressure on for just that one more lap. The pack behind us opened up a little bit. René Reinert has dropped back from Sascha Lenz, who was closed up on Lucas Hahn, and it looks like John Newell is going to be home and dry in 4th place, which will be a brilliant result for him. Looking at his results this season, overall, it's quite funny. John has only finished in 3 different positions all season. He's finished in 9th 6 times this year, 8th twice, and 10th 3 times. So, just shows you, doesn't it, that John has been mighty consistent. In every single race this year, he's been either 8th, 9th, or 10th. Doing a wonderful, wonderful job. But now, to suddenly get home with a 4th place, he'll be buzzing with that, will John? I mean, it's John, he's a perfectionist, so he'll just tell me that he's annoyed that it's not a podium, but he'll tell me that it's great that he's 4th. On to the final lap then of the weekend here in the 2026 Truck Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. I can't quite believe it's come around this quickly. There is what's left of Bradley Smith's truck. I'm surprised you can see through that windscreen. It'll be like looking through a kaleidoscope as he goes on to the last lap of this race. But Norbert Kish still leads the way. And these drivers are 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Mark Taylor and Antonio Albacete again, barely on the ground through that chicane. It's so cool to look at as they make their way left, then right. John Newell currently runs in 4th place. 5th place is Lucas Hahn, not Jochen Hahn, Chaz. Get it right. Sascha Lenz is next ahead of René Reinert, Steffi Halm, Louis Requenco and Stefan Fass completing the top 10 as we run at the moment. Mark seemingly has a gap enough over Antonio Albacete to hold on to this position to the end. Antonio's already enjoyed a very good weekend with 2 podium finishes. He's going to get another one if he finishes where he is now, but I know that he will want that extra single championship point, knowing that he could potentially leapfrog Sasha Lenz here, because he is 1, 2, 3 positions ahead. So he and Sasha will be tied on points for second in the championship after this one, if it finishes as it is. Let's see then, into the final few corners, is there anything Antonio can do? It doesn't look like he's close enough to make a charge. They will both get to 100 miles an hour, and they will not do anything in terms of exceeding that, unless they want to be naughty and just get disqualified. But what about this man? Norbert Kish, once again coming into the final corner. The rest of the field left in his dust. He had a fantastic first lap, avoiding the incident. Got lucky with the fact there wasn't a red flag, sure, but he comes through and wins 3 races here at the Nürburgring in 2026. Norbert Kish takes his 10th win of the year, moves into double digits, and how about that for a defensive drive? Mark Taylor finishes second overall, wins in chrome, and Antonio Albacete caps off a great weekend here at the Nürburgring with a 3rd position. He and the team will be very happy. John Newell, best result of the year, in 4th place after finishing 8th, 9th and 10th in every race. Suddenly comes home 4th with a great defensive drive. Lucas Hahn wasn't quite able to do enough, but he finishes 5th. Sasha Lenz is 6th ahead of René Reinert. The number 7 look is definitely coming true there. And what a drive for Steffi Halm, starting 19th on the grid to finish 8th. A really solid drive through the order. Louis Requenco gets the top 10. Stefan Faas is next up. And Bradley Smith and Adam Lachko, considering that those two tangled in turn 2 and they came through to finish in 11th and 12th still, is brilliant. Now, if you listen carefully, you'll hear some truck tyres spinning up in the background, and we may see some lovely drifting in a moment by Norbert Kish. I'm sure that we'll get a lot of drifting from some of the drivers in the field, but Norby seems to be chilling out at the moment, but takes the race win. Mark Taylor gets his joint best result of the season. You can only go one better with a 2nd place, and Antonio Albacete finishes in 3rd. 3 podiums from the Nürburgring. Here we go, Norby. Let's do it. Big drift from Norbert Kish. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. And he'll do it through these next 2 corners as well, I imagine, because this is prime drifting opportunity, this part of the circuit. Mark Taylor not only takes 2nd place overall in that race, but also takes another win in chrome. And John Newell scores yet another podium, which gives him, just checking here, his 10th podium of the season for John Newell in chrome. And then Lucas Hahn finally gets his podium. Lucas was on the podium in race 2 yesterday in chrome, and then once more here. I know that a number of drivers would have come here this weekend expecting Lucas to walk the chrome category. We all know how fast he is, but after a difficult race 1, it seemed he was consistently on the back foot then and unable to take any further action in terms of gaining places or scoring big points. But what a great, busy race that was to complete the race weekend here at the Nürburgring. It's my 6th time here at this fantastic circuit, and it's the 5th year that I've commentated on this Truck Grand Prix. And we're happy to announce that the Goodyear Wingfoot Award is announced and won by Jochen Hahn for this weekend. Despite a difficult last race, we feel that Jochen turned a very difficult start to his weekend around, and now he gets to drift and celebrate it in style with a really big slide. Look at that, doing donuts in front of the fans as well. That's so cool. Jochen is always a showman. He's always very funny. He was trying to wind me and Sasha Lenz up earlier today, and now he gets to coat the circuit in rubber and soak the fans in smoke and dust and all sorts. Norbert Kish peels into the pit lane. A big round of applause from John Newell's team to him for that great 4th position overall. And of course, 2nd in chrome. Antonio Albacete again, 3rd position, 3rd podium of the weekend. That will keep him very, very happy heading to the near halfway point of the championship. We'll have to see how he bounces into Most in 7 weeks' time. That's the thing, it's a long old time until Most. It's one of the biggest gaps of the season, if not the biggest gap of the season over the summer break. And I know that a lot of the drivers, they don't get chance to really linger in how well their previous weekend went. They sort of just start to focus on the new one as if it's a neutral ground. A big handshake and a pat on the back to Norbert Kisch from Franz Steilberg, technical delegate of the FIA, and a big hug to the team. What another great weekend here for Norbert Kisch. We've had 12 races this year, and Norbert Kisch has won 10 of them. He's actually made it a bit of a symmetrical pattern as well at the moment. He won 2, finished 6th, won 6, finished 4th, and then won 2. So he's bookended it with pairs of wins, then off the podium, and then a big chunk of 6 in the middle with that clean sweep at the Slovakia ring. There's his partner giving him a good congratulations. Marty takes some incredible photos of the race weekends. And there, Csaba Bako giving him a congratulations as well. Always a smile on the face of Csaba. He and the team work incredibly hard, and Norby pays them back with these excellent performances. Let's head down into the paddock while Norbert has a bit of a chat there with some of the guys from Tim Frost's team, T-Sport Bernau, and Antonio Albacetti's team. And Louise will be on standby to have a final word with Norbert Kisch.
Here we are. Okay, of course, Norbert Kisch, once again, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. What can I say? After a race like that, or a start like that, I mean, we were lucky for sure, you know, I mean, but we never say that you don't need luck for this, because, you know, for sure you need some luck as well. But, you know, overall the weekend was really good, you know, we were really fast and really lucky as well in the end because of this big crash. Yeah. And then everybody was, you know, to the right side, and I came up to second place, I think, and then Mark looks up his brake, and I'm like,
You've got to take every opportunity, you know what I mean? It's just the way, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, this is luck, you know. It's opportunity too good to be true. But I guess we are here, so.
Another champagne shower for you, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers, Norby. Get to the podium. Okay, here are a few highlights for you.
Lead by lap 2. There was some great movement in the middle of the field. Some drivers trying to recover and come back through. Jonathan Andre, though, like I say, went straight on and then went into the pits with some sort of damage later on. It's a big shame for Jonathan because he's a race-by-race entrant with us and always puts on a good show when he comes here to the Nürburgring and always has a good scrap. Mark Taylor was in second place after the opening laps with Antonio Albacetti behind him. In the background we had John Newell sending some penalty markers for a burden. And then of course Jochen Hahn was down the order while Lucas Hahn stayed up near the front. 5th place for him, ahead of Sascha Lenz and René Reinert. They had a good thing going on, even with a little bit of contact here and there. And Antonio Albacetti was the focus for some of these great slow-mo shots, showing how these 5-ton machines can hop, skip and jump their way through these curbs and chicanes. Bradley Smith, with his newly installed kaleidoscope windscreen, was trying to gain up places and move back inside the top 10. He would eventually get home in 11th place. But Clemens Hecker with a puncture on the left rear, you can see the wheel rim moving there actually in a damaged way. He was fighting with Emma Mäkinen into the final moments of the race. It was almost a moment for Mark Taylor losing the position to Antonio Albacetti as he locked up his brakes, but he would hold on for second until the very end. But it was a great fight between these two. Norbert Kisch takes his 3rd race win of the weekend, and we're going to have a look at the official results of that one with this beautiful backdrop here in the Nürburgring. We have Norbert Kisch winning by 6.5 seconds from Mark Taylor, his 3rd win of the weekend. And then it's Antonio Albacetti completing the podium. John Newell was next up in 4th place, his best result of the season, and a 2nd place in Chrome, with Lucas Hahn 3rd in Chrome and 5th overall. Next up we had Sascha Lenz in 6th, ahead of René Reinert with all the 7s in truck 77. Steffi Halm from 19th on the grid, let me say, all the way up to 8th. That's one of the drives of the day, that is absolutely brilliant. Louis Requenco finished in 9th, gets some points on the board after a bit of a difficult weekend. And same for Stefan Faas. He started right down the order as well this morning after not taking part in quali. He finishes the day with a top 10. Bradley Smith and Adam Lachko both recovered very well after that early incident, but of course that's under investigation, so we'll have to see what the situation is there. We look forward to seeing Adam again though at Most. It'll be great to have him back. We've got Luke Garrett then 13th, Emma Mäkinen 14th, ahead of Clemens Hecker, Jochen Hahn, Jonathan Andre and Stefan Kirsch. Let's have a look at the overall standings then as we leave the Nürburgring. We have 3 drivers now on 100 points or more, but Norbert Kish on 163 points now has an entire race meetings advantage over Antonio Albacete and Sascha Lenz. The maximum you can get on a weekend is 60 points. Norby is now 62 clear, but Albacete and Sascha Lenz tied on points now on 101 each. Jochen Hahn falls back a little bit into 4th position, and Steffi Helm cements herself even more into 5th, ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and René Reiner and Mark Taylor, who are all just separated by 5 points as well. Lucas Hahn holds on to 9th, and John Newell scores himself some good points to make sure he keeps that 10th place away from Bradley Smith, who runs in 11th at the moment. Stefan Faas is 12th ahead of Luke Garrett. He is tied with Stefan Kirsch, on 9 points. Then it's Louis Requenco on 6, Adam Lachko on 3, and Jonathan Andre, the 17th driver to score points so far this year. We'll have a look at the Chrome Championship standings as well, and you can see now that Mark Taylor has a steady advantage of 8 points over John Newell. And then it's Bradley Smith in 3rd place on 89. He stays 6 points clear of Stefan Faas, with Lucas Hahn in 5th place. And it's Luke Garrett 6th ahead of Louis Requenco. Jonathan Andre finds himself in 8th place ahead of Stefan Kirsch and Clemens Hecker in 10th place. Clemens nearly 100 points down on Mark Taylor at the moment, and considering he was a championship competitor a few seasons ago, it is very, very sad to see. But hopefully their luck gets better and they can bounce back for Most. Emma Mäkinen is the 11th driver to score points this season in the Chrome Championship, in what is already being a very closely contested category where we never know what we'll get from one race to the next. Norbert Kish, Emma Mäkinen there as well, making her way over to the podium. And a number of the drivers will be celebrated in just a few moments' time. Antonio Albacete getting handshakes and hugs off just about everyone down there, and the Hungarian fans sharing their love for Norbert Kish, no doubt who they are supporting for this weekend. Or always. Norby has some incredibly loyal fans. They absolutely love him, and they head over to the Slovakia ring very often to go and celebrate him there, and it's great to see them also make the trip over to the Nürburgring for the International ADAC Truck Grand Prix. It'll be just a moment before we head onto the podium, and my good friend Patrick Jasinski will be announcing all of the goings on there. And we'll just wait for a second for them all to be assembled in what is technically a green room. You can see Alan Taylor just in the very far right of shot there with his glasses on his head. He'll be really chuffed with that after a difficult afternoon yesterday with that disqualification. A 5th place in race 1 and a 2nd place in race 2. Overall, not just in Chrome, will make him a very happy bunny. But that's 2 wins on the bounce in Chrome as well for Mark here. So in the last 4 races, he's had 1 disqualification, but he's won the other 4, which is great to see. Mark certainly putting on a solid performance. He didn't win a single race in Chrome back at Misano, but then at Slovakia he started winning again. And in the last 8 races, he's won 6 of them in class, even with Lucas Hahn racing with us as well. Like I said earlier, with no disrespect to any of the Chrome drivers, a lot of them knew that Lucas would probably come here and take a clean sweep with the pace that he's shown here before. He's just as fast, if not faster, than his dad sometimes. Not that we'll tell Jochen that. There is Patrick Jasinski, bringing the energy to the podium and getting everybody hyped up. Always does a great job here at the Nürburgring. It's one of the highlights of my weekend to bump into Patrick and just see how energised he is. And we'll have the overall podium first, which will mean 3rd position once again goes to Antonio Albacete. A great weekend for him and T-Sport Bernau. And you can tell just how happy he is to be stepping back on the podium. No matter how many podiums he's had, every single one still means a lot. Mark Taylor and his squad are down there. They'll be really, really pleased. as Mark steps up onto the second step of the podium for the second time this season. And now, how about the top step for Norbert Kirsch, our reigning champion, our championship leader, and once again doing incredible things at the wheel of his MAN. 3 MANs on the podium here in the final race of the weekend, and now we'll have the Hungarian national anthem for Norby and Revège Racing. The Hungarian national anthem there for Norbert Kish, and he is very appreciative of his fans. As you can see, it blows him away every time, and it's lovely to see the reaction, and they always turn out with loads of flags and things. It's great, absolutely great. And now the trophies will be handed out. Antonio gets the third place trophy. More silverware to take back to the team. And a big smile from the Spaniard. He's been racing for over 25 years now as Antonio, and he still continues to do really well and always be a threat at the front. Mark Taylor will be over the moon with that one. And another race-winning trophy in the hands of Norbert Kish. And another wonderful performance from the Hungarian this weekend. 3 race wins and a 4th place, and now over 60 points clear in the championship, which, as I mentioned, is an entire race weekend's worth of points. Even if Norby had whatever issue at Most and didn't do any of the races, even if somebody won all 4, he would still lead the championship by 2 points. They have to change the hats, though. Mark's not got one, he says. Oh well. Antonio says, stuff it, let's spray each other with champagne, shall we? He's good in a champagne fight, is Antonio, so I imagine Norby's going to get drenched here. You can see he's ready for it, look. He's going to soak him. He's lining it up, I think. No, never mind, that particular fan is getting absolutely drenched. I hope he's got a second phone. I think a fan just ran up to Antonio to fill his drink up from the, from the bottle of champagne. I've never seen that before. That is absolutely brilliant. In the years I've been commentating, sure, I've not had the longest career as a commentator, but I've never seen that before, even when just watching motorsport. That is hilarious. You'd only find that here at the Nürburgring at the Truck Grand Prix. That's the sort of atmosphere we have here. All the fans are so much fun. It is a real good laugh. And here, welcome to the podium, your Goodyear Wingfoot Award. He may not have had the best final race, but Jochen Hahn takes the Goodyear Wingfoot Award here at the Nürburgring. And you can tell he is very happy about it. Presented by Davide Califano. And a big hug for Jochen. Brilliant stuff. Big smile on Jochen's face, and I imagine he needs that after a very difficult day. But well done to Jochen for taking the prestigious Goodyear Wingfoot Award. Now we move on to the next podium, which will be the Chrome podium, if I remember get through, so you'll have to bear with us. Third, we have on then, and I worried, thought Jochen was going to walk back out, but then again, I've been getting Lucas and Jochen confused on the timing tower all weekend, so yeah, that's my own fault. Second place in Chrome, we welcome back up John Newell after a very good race that time round. He will be over the moon with 4th place overall. Sure, it may not be an overall podium, but that one will mean a lot to John. His best result of the year, and a Chrome win for Mark Taylor as he steps back up onto the top step. 3 wins in class this weekend. Very solid stuff from Mark and the team. Propels him back into a steady championship lead. And now the British national anthem.
Dankeschön. Euer Podiumsapplaus.
And there we go, another British driver at the top. It's been quite the weekend for the Brits in the Chrome Championship. Mark Taylor taking 3 of the wins, Bradley Smith taking the other. Lucas Hahn gets 2 of the podiums, and that's not really what we expected from Lucas here this weekend. He was qualifying incredibly well, right up there at the sharp end. Then after the contact with René Reinert in race 1, he had the issue, and then it just didn't seem to go right for him since then. But I tell you what, the Chrome Championship is such a hotly contested category. And Mark Taylor, reigning champion of the Chrome class, is sure to move up into the Titan category for next year if he wins it again this time round. And the guys pose on the top step for the pictures. And then they spray champagne at the fans and the media. Little enjoying it down there as well from John's team. Having a good old laugh. And that's what it's all about. Everybody here is part of the One Truck family, and there's so many people to celebrate and enjoy. And we also have our young drivers to enjoy as well. And we will bring them onto the podium just now. Emma Mäkinen is the first driver to come up to the podium. She gets to take some silverware away from the Nürburgring. It's great to have her back amongst the paddock in the Iveco for Mad Croc Racing. And I know that it's been a tough but a good learning experience for her this weekend to hopefully come back and compete more with us in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Bradley Smith makes his way up to the podium. He almost doesn't seem to know where to go, I don't think. It's one of those days for Bradley, I think. He smiles it off at least. I know he'll be a little bit flustered after that race, bless him, starting on the front row of the grid. But what about this guy, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez? He's been one of the best upcoming stars in the championship for a good few years now, and he continues to be successful and absolutely rapid. And now we should get the Portuguese national anthem for Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. In fact, no, we're going straight to the trophies, I think. I don't even think Sina knows. That's Sina Amir Divani on the right-hand side from the FIA. Lovely, lovely guy. Great to work with his Sina. A very good sense of humour. Really good at his job. I spent a good bit of Friday evening with Tony Idden taking the mick out of Sina's shorts that he was wearing in the paddock. Bradley Smith, second place for him in the young drivers category, another trophy to take back. And Jose Eduardo Rodriguez takes another bit of silverware back too. He's not had too many trophies this season. He's had 2 for overall podiums, but that's been that. But still, to score the most points in the young drivers category here this weekend at the Nürburgring will make him very happy. And at least it's a slight consolation to what's been a bit of a tough weekend with that DNF in the final race. It's time to spray the champagne. Bradley Smith was straight on that one. Really, really quick indeed. And at least these 3 drivers who have all endured pretty tough weekends get a chance to enjoy it. And the fans are back for more doses of champagne from the podium. I've definitely never seen anything like that before. Brilliant. Let's have a quick interview, shall we? Louise has found our Goodyear Wingfoot Award winner, Jochen Hahn.
Here we go then, Jochen Hahn, the Goodyear Wingfoot Award winner. How are you feeling? Congratulations.
No, thanks a lot. No, I feel pretty good. It's, you know, it's coming from the fans.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm very proud about it. And yeah, we are in Germany, the fans with us. And okay, I'm on the podium in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, that's the dream in Germany. With the Wingfoot, everything is well.
Absolutely. And has it been really nice to talk to the fans this weekend as well? And obviously, they're the reason that this is in your hand right now.
Yeah, but you know, in the end, I must say thank you to the fans. When without fans, it's impossible to win something or some. All, you know, you can only win with the fans. And yeah, from this side, good German Grand Prix done.
Yes.
So holiday, most, hopefully with no technical problems, and then we fight again.
Fingers crossed. And where is this going to live? Where are you going to put this trophy?
I have a place for the trophies, and it's a really nice trophy, so it will have a special prize.
Fantastic. Jochen, we're really excited seeing you in Most, and congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Grazie. Grazie.
Weekend. Thank you. Right, we now have Mark Taylor as well. Come on in, Mark. Come on in. Hi, it's great to have you back again as well. First in Chrome class and a second overall, which is fantastic as well. And after like a bit of a rocky start, it must be so great for you to have. This weekend's been really good to you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good weekend. Yeah, we've had its ups and downs, like yesterday, the DNF, but the team's just worked so hard just to get the truck out, to get us out on track, and it's all come together, and we've had a brilliant weekend.
Absolutely. You've had lots of champagne showering this weekend, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been good. How are you feeling about Most coming up?
Most, yeah, it's a good track. Hopefully we can carry on as we are now. Hopefully no more problems with the truck. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of them, but yeah, hopefully Moss will be good for us.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations, Mark. It's been lovely to chat to you this weekend as well, and I'll let you get out of the sun for a little bit because it's very hot today.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. There we go. And finally, we've got our young driver, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. How are you?
I'm not so good, but it's live for this race.
It's ongoing. How do you feel to be the young driver?
Yeah, it's very good. It's a good point for my championship. This race is not so good for me, but it's in the overall it's a good weekend.
And how are you feeling about Most coming up?
We have time to think and learn a little more. I hope it's a good weekend and gain some points.
Well, congratulations, you're an inspiration to a lot of young drivers that would love to be in your shoes as well, so it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, thank you, Jose. Well, there you have it. It's so lovely to see that. I mean, you know, inspiring the next generation of young drivers, which is absolutely wonderful. And that kind of concludes this weekend. Race 4 has finished, but we are going to be back on the 29th of August in Most. You might be able to hear the atmosphere behind me. We're going to bring this exact vibe to Most in August, and we will see you there.